welcome back. Talkative Sports Podcast, another episode. Before we get started, unfortunately, we've hit another international break. A couple more useless friendlies that nobody cares about. And you know what that means? We will drop this episode, and then you won't see us for about 2 weeks or whatever. Until real football is back, this will be our last episode. Um, I like to apologize because it's not our fault. Like, nobody cares. We don't care. You guys probably don't care. Right? Right? Or should we do international football friendly episodes? I don't think so. I don't want to. I mean, what do you think, guys?
Hey, I mean, if they want us to, I'd rather just stick to the normal one. But if the people want it, if they ask for it, then we might have to oblige to. But hey, the only way we would ever do something like that is if you like the video and subscribe right now.
Like the video and tell us in the comments right now if you want us to keep going during the international break. And if
We'll
you
do
do,
it.
we
We
will.
got no problem. Are you got nothing to do? I got nothing to do.
I'll be bored.
But
So
hey, like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. Leave a comment. What do you think? Whatever. If you want to criticize us, please. I myself love constructive criticism. It's how
very
we get better.
yes.
So, and we can't do this without y'all. Please remember that. We cannot do anything without y'all. So, all you have to do is like the video and subscribe and share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends who love the beautiful game. So, um, all right. So, first topic on the menu. Liverpool Football Club. They went from a quadruple to a treble to, at least we'll win the Carabao Cup to, okay, we've already won the Premier League. What the hell happened? I'll tell you what happened. The same thing that has happened to them in previous seasons. Their star players, and I'm not gonna go too much into this one player, but I feel like I kind of have to.
Our players.
Mohamed Salah
There we go.
always goes missing in the spring. And look, I've seen some excuses and they say, oh, he's fasting for Ramadan. I don't buy that.
You remember what Kante did on Ramadan?
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, not a lot of people is in Bungolo Kante, but sorry. Kante.
Mahrez, Benzema. Who else is Muslim? Mendy. There are countless.
Omar Marmoush.
Marmoush. Right now,
He scored.
Ramadan is not an excuse. Because it's only Salah that does this. He goes, takes his Christmas photo, even though he's a Muslim, he posts both. And then he scores a couple goals, and then he goes missing March, April. And once again, he's done it.
I mean, it could be Ramadan. It really could be Ramadan for him, man.
Or maybe he's just not an elite player, because at that level, at least, I mean, he's elite the entire season before, but in certain months he just drops off. But I don't know why. Because we've seen elite players do it before. So it's not Ramadan is not the problem. It's Salah that's the problem. It's Salah. And I'd also like to say that it's not just Salah, it's Liverpool as a whole. Because before this episode, I was looking at their league finishes. I was watching some other podcasts and they were talking about, Liverpool are not a good team. Liverpool are worse than you. I'm like, dude, they lost 5 times. this entire season. And I look back at their previous year. Last year, they lost 4 times
Mm-hmm.
in the Premier League, at least, and they finished third. And
Mm-hmm.
the year before, they okay, they finished fifth that year before, but the year they won the league,
Yeah, but that year they finished fifth. Virgil van Dijk was injured like all his season long.
okay, that's true.
Yeah.
The year before
I
that,
give him a pass for that year.
the year
Actually,
before that,
Virgil and Allison got injured that year. So it was a tough year for them.
they did finish second on only 2 losses,
Hmm.
and that was when they finished 1 point behind City.
Yeah, that was when it was going down to the end, and
That was
like
really close.
everybody was like, "Oh my God, is it gonna be close?" And I was like, City's gonna win this."
Wait,
So
where's the year? Oh, the last year they won the league was 2019-20,
yeah,
and they only lost 3 times in the Premier League.
yeah,
They've had more. That's tough. That's tough as a Liverpool fan, but that doesn't take away from the fact that when it comes down to these knockout stages and these cup finals and these cup competitions, they're not good at that. They're not good at all. I think most of those seasons, if Man City isn't as great as they are, they probably pick up a couple more Premier Leagues, but that still doesn't excuse their performance in all the other cups. Because it seems like they don't know how to get it over the line.
yeah.
In the Champions League, they finished top. They were the best in the league
Best team.
phase, but then they were rewarded with PSG. They won away, lost at home, lost on penalties. I guess you could call it a draw, and then they lost on penalties. They did lose another one. They did lose one random game in there too. I forgot. I forget who it was.
PSV.
Was it PSV? I don't remember. But yeah, they lost. I know they lost because I checked their record and they did lose some
Could be.
game.
It's hard to believe PSV beat them because I think it was PSV, but it's hard for even me to believe that PSV beat them because of what
PSV
Arsenal.
Eindhoven beat them, and
Yeah,
then the
because
same
Arsenal
Newcastle beat.
beat
Yeah,
them 7-1. So it's literally impossible for me to imagine them beating Liverpool. But
they
yes,
did lose to Plymouth. They did lose to Spurs. Who else? I know they lost to Nottingham Forest, and even last year in the Europa League, I think it was a semi-final. They lost to Atalanta 3-0.
yeah,
And I think they won there at home too. They won 1-0 at home.
they also
It was
lost.
just
Didn't
like,
they lose to Inter Milan as well
when did they
in
lose
the
to Inter?
Champions League.
The year before?
I think that was when Inter made the final. That could have been when Inter made the final.
Oh, that Champions League campaign. Okay.
Yeah, I think Liverpool lost to Inter as well.
Let me see if I can find that. So it's like Liverpool. You guys are not very good when it comes to knockout matches.
No, sir.
No, that wasn't the year they lost to Inter. Because that year that Man City won it, they weren't even in the. They lost to Real Madrid real early in the round of 16. 6
No.
2. 6-2. Man, that same Real Madrid team beat Chelsea 4-0 on aggregate.
Yep.
What year did Liverpool win the Champions League?
A long time ago. 2002, 03. Steven Gerrard, Xabi Alonso.
No, under Klopp, they won one.
They did? Who did
Yes,
they
they
beat?
beat Tottenham 2-0 in the final.
Oh, yeah. Useless Spurs. That was a long time ago. That was like they were still young.
2018-19.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Mhm. They did beat Porto, Barcelona, and Roma in the way. I guess you could say, hey, that was one of their best knockout teams.
Hmm.
I don't know. Liverpool is very confusing. I don't want to call y'all frauds.
Hey, but who was coach of Tottenham?
Pochettino,
Okay.
of course, it was Pochettino, man. I mean, they had no chance. This was Spurs at
At
their
least they
peak.
made it.
They didn't make it, but that was how they beat. You saw how they beat Man City. I know you remember that one.
Hmm.
It was close. It was
Yeah.
luck. It
But
was
they're like,
when
Man City's kryptonite.
oh
They've
yeah,
always been.
was
They've always been. So it was a perfect matchup for them.
perfect storm, and they
Yeah.
made it through just to lose within. The game was over. The Salah scored in the second minute penalty. Uh, I don't know what to say to Liverpool fans. I'm just like,
They have their trophy. They'll be all right.
yeah,
Or they will have their trophy at the end of the season. But
yeah,
I don't
they will have a
they're
pretty
gonna
strong.
drop 5 games in a row at this point in the season. Like they would literally have to lose 5 games in a row or something like that. Like,
It would have to be the most disastrous. It'll literally be the worst collapse in Premier League history in order for them not to win. They are 12 points ahead with 7 games to go.
hmm they would literally have to lose like 5 games. That's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not happening.
I don't see that happening.
And
And Arsenal would have to win
everything.
5 games.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, they got Everton, Fulham, West Ham, Leicester, Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal on the last day. That Arsenal game on the last day at Anfield is going to be a joke because they would have already won the league.
unless they lose 5 games.
Unless they lose.
Then we'll see.
I mean, they could lose against Everton. Everton are unbeaten for like
Fulham,
Fulham are in form too. West Ham, no.
no. Leicester,
Leicester,
no.
but Tottenham don't have anything to play for. They're getting
Got
cooked.
nothing to lose.
Chelsea, we would have already qualified for whatever we're going to qualify for at that point.
Or not qualified and
Or
just
not.
be where we are.
Yeah, but
Got nothing to
Arsenal,
lose.
they're winning the league, man.
Yeah, I don't see them
It's
losing.
not it.
I don't see them losing to
They've
Fulham.
only
I don't
lost.
see them losing to Everton as changed as Everton is.
Liverpool have only lost at the end of the day. They've only lost one game this entire season in the league.
Hmm.
They're not going to suddenly lose 5 out of the last 7. Even though I know they're depressed about losing the Champions League and the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Okay, if they tie though, if they tie
Tying won't.
5 of those, they would have to tie 5 of those games. So they would have to lose or tie those games.
If they tie,
No, no, they would tie. They would have to tie like pretty much all of their games.
if they tie 7 games, that means they win 7 points. And if they win 7 points, they'll be on
They'll be.
77.
Oh yeah, they will win.
They,
They'll still. It would. It wouldn't. It wouldn't be
they would
enough
have
for
to
Arsenal.
lose,
Yeah.
and Arsenal would have to win.
Yeah.
They've won the league. It's not, and they're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen.
I don't know who I trust more. Liverpool to win out or Arsenal to win out. Definitely Liverpool.
I don't trust Arsenal to win now. Arsenal are not gonna win now. Let's look at Arsenal fixtures. Fulham, Everton, Madrid, Brentford,
Madrid.
Ipswich.
Uh, hey, honestly, you know what?
Liverpool, Newcastle, Southampton. They have more. They're not gonna
If
win anything.
you know what,
What?
I halfway want that Madrid fixture to be competitive.
What do you mean by competitive? Arsenal show up?
Yeah, play their hearts out and lose.
Right. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but like they might show up and play their hearts out and lose 5-1 or 4-2. I want it to be like a 0-0 tie in the first game and then a 1-0 heartbreaker. That's what I want. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, am I too mean? Like, would it be better to just let them lose like 3-1 or 4-2 on aggregate or
That's what's gonna happen. They're just gonna
5-4?
lose. There's no belief there. There's no
But that's what
vision.
I'm saying. But I want it to there to be some belief. I want the first game to literally be 0-0. So people can start thinking, oh, okay. And then I want the next game to come down to the 90th minute. And then McBappe and fries with a McFlurry
So
finishes.
you're trying to break Arsenal hearts.
I guess that's how my trust really.
That's what you want, really. Like you want Arsenal to think they have a chance, so
Yes.
they can take it.
Yes. I
You're
really do, dog.
that's evil. Yeah, I didn't know you were this evil. I just want them to lose normally because they have no business.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
mean, first leg
No.
is at the Emirates.
Good. It'll be a 0-0 draw. And then that's my prediction. I predict a 0-0 draw. And then take them down to the 90th minute. McBappe and fries. Bro, that would be the best thing ever. Oh my god.
Arsenal simply do not have the facility.
Actually, wait. No, 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 no. I don't even. I don't. Actually, there's a better player that I need to score if he plays. If they start him and he plays, or actually, no, 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 no. I need him to come on as a sub and score. Ceballos, Dani Ceballos.
Uh,
I'm sorry, bro. Oh,
for weapon.
oh God, that would be so cold-hearted, man. Oh, man. Anyways, enough of
Yeah.
my Arsenal bigotry.
Opta, the algorithm is giving Arsenal a 0.87 chance
Damn.
beating Liverpool to the title. Like literally everybody else has a 0.00% chance. Liverpool has a 99.13% chance.
Hey, you heard it. You heard it, everyone. There you go.
Oh,
It's in. It's all in their hands.
yeah, it's theirs to fumble.
Yeah.
They're not going to fumble it. Like that's all they got left. Literally, they have
Yeah.
one game a week for the rest of the season. That's all they got. They're not going to fumble that. But let's talk about Newcastle. Newcastle showed up. Dan Burn goal. Isak. I was praying for Newcastle to lose just for the off chance that Eddie Howe implodes, and that means Isak gets sold to Chelsea. But I know, I even when I said it on a couple episodes ago, I knew it was unrealistic. But hey, Eddie Howe went ahead and won. Kaz, do you owe Eddie Howe an apology?
I have some words to eat. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna have to eat my words, guys. I was very critical of Edward. How did he do it?
Edward.
When
When did he become Edward?
yes, when he sold one of my favorite players to watch of his generation, Alan Saint Maximan. Um, and they hadn't won anything. They hadn't done anything in the Champions League, and And now watching the way they played that entire game, they just looked better than Liverpool on every level. On every level. I mean, what was the score? 3-0. It should have been like 4 or 5. Yeah, it should have been like 4 or 5. They were better than Liverpool in all facets of the game. Their midfield, Sandro Tonali, Joe Ellington. Oh my God. He played like that was the last game. All of them played like that was the last game they were ever going to play. Bruno Guimaraes. Everybody was flying around. They played so free, so like
Wait,
so open.
what game are you talking about?
The final, Carabao Cup final.
This one or oh, this one? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, you know what really broke my heart?
What?
Watching Tino Livramento out there. So frustrating, man. The kid had a great game, a perfect game. They had him at left back to start the game. By the end of the game, he was at right back. Like the kid played his eyes out, and
Yeah.
yeah, you can. You already mentioned you know actually, you know what? I'll touch on Liverpool after I finish with Newcastle here. But the point about Newcastle is I got to give credit to Eddie Howe definitely because he was missing one of his best players, Anthony Gordon, and he figured out a way. He slotted in Harvey Barnes and Jacob Murphy on the right side, and it was and they just played simple football, and they just look hungrier, and they just worked harder for everything. Every single second ball, every single thing, every possession. They worked harder to keep possession, and they worked harder out of possession. And that's just a recipe for a good game, you know. And like I gotta give the credit to where the credit is due. Eddie Howe and his coaching staff, you know. Eddie, how did he do it? You know? He did it.
Eddie, how did he do
Hey,
it?
he did it, man. It's
uh,
been it's been how many years? 50 years since they've won a title?
16, 57,
16.
whatever it was.
Exactly. They've been in a bigger drought than Tottenham.
They had legends that couldn't do it,
Exactly.
and he did.
So Eddie, how did he do it? I mean, he deserves that name. I'm sorry. That's oh sorry. Edward, how did he do it? I can't even call him Eddie anymore because it's just like Eddie. It's like, hey, it's just Eddie. No, his name, he's a respectable sir, Edward. I mean, I honestly, he should be knighted for that, to tell you the truth. That's a very impressive achievement. I'm not gonna lie. Against this
Night.
Liverpool team, it's very yeah, it's very impressive, man. It's very impressive. Now, you know how I feel about all the spending and all the money that the club has spent. Yeah, 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 whatever. All right. Like Bruno Guimaraes was crying 3 years ago and they were in the same spot and they lost. So you still got to win. So all credit to Eddie Howe. And
Yeah. Um,
yeah,
Eddie Howe didn't give up. You know, he was at this same stage 2 or 3 years ago with Man
three
U,
years back.
and he lost. And he kept going. He came back. He won. He had a game plan. He was without Gordon. They took the game to Liverpool. They weren't afraid.
I don't think, I think he was also without Lewis Hall as well. He was missing some, and I think that just those two. Yeah. Just Gordon and Hall, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, I don't. Lewis Hall was injured. Yep. Botman was injured. Jamal Lascelles was injured.
Botman's they're one of their best defenders, I would argue.
Yeah, but they still had Dan Burn. It was great.
Yep.
They had. everybody else, and they still have a really decent team. And Ari Barnes isn't a pushover at all.
No,
At
no,
all.
he played well.
Yeah.
Everyone on that team played like above whatever level you expect them. They came into that game and said, guys, we might as well give everything that we've ever had. If you've ever played your best game, this is the day. I don't know what Edward, how did they do it, told them in the locker room. I don't know what he don't look like he says much. He looks more like a tactician, but he figured it out and they won the game. They won the game from like the beginning. Like I said, it
I,
should have been like 4 or 5 easily.
I think it's also just like not just Liverpool. I mean, Newcastle playing well, but Liverpool are not good at all.
And let me say this about Liverpool. I wanted to say this about Liverpool earlier, but I didn't want to take the focus off of Newcastle. Nah, Newcastle made Liverpool give up. Like I'm, yeah, of course Liverpool are a good team, but when you make a good team give up, that just shows like you may not be better than them. All right. But when you play at a higher intensity, every single player, like everybody, from to the last defender to Isak to Harvey Barnes, Joe Ellington, for crying out loud, was chasing everyone everywhere. And that's a big man. That's a big dude. Like he was chasing everyone everywhere, doing everything, shooting from anywhere. They left it out all out there. Then that's literally how you need to play in a final. You need to leave everything out there. And Liverpool weren't ready for that. They just weren't. You could just tell Luis Diaz was off pace. Salah tried a little bit. Trent was, I don't know where Trent be half the time. VVD was just trying to get any kind of organization. Actually, sorry, Trent was benched.
I don't think Trent even played the entire.
Yeah, Trent
He
got benched
wasn't
for
even
Kwanzaa.
there.
Trent got benched. Yeah.
He wasn't in the squad.
Oh, okay. Then there you go.
Yeah, he was injured. He's
Yeah.
injured.
Okay,
He had an ankle injury.
okay. Yeah, but man, yeah, Gravenberch,
Also, they benched
Zoboslai.
Allison. They didn't play Allison.
I mean, they normally don't
Oh,
play Allison.
in the cup
They don't.
games. Yeah,
Yeah, but
maybe that's why.
nah, man. I would expect more from their midfield, bro. Alexis McAllister, Gravenberch.
I mean, they benched Endo.
Yeah, but
I
Endo
think they
doesn't
didn't
start,
respect Newcastle as much as they should.
right? Yeah, and
They
Endo
should have
doesn't
started
normally start.
Allison. They
Yeah,
should have
and
at least brought Endo off
yes.
the bench. They made 5 subs, bro. They made 5 subs within the 57 and the 74. Within 20 minutes, they made 5 subs.
Yeah, because bro, because
Strong,
I told you, like,
Nunez, Capo,
yep,
Elliot, Chiesa,
yep,
who scored a goal. Chiesa, of all people, scored.
yeah.
But we don't build on. I don't understand it. This is why, like, even though you have a designated keeper for a certain cup, in the final, you put your best players.
Yeah, of course.
You have to put on your best players. Because, like, the Dan Burn goal, the header,
Oh
Allison
yeah,
would have saved that.
very preventable.
Allison, I know for a fact Allison is saving that. Maybe the Isak goal goes in. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Allison ain't saving that. Isak
But
is.
that Dan Burn goal to go 1-0 down, Allison saves that.
Oh, the score was only 2-1. I
Yeah,
thought it
it was
was
only
three
2-1.
one or something. Yeah,
But
the game felt like it should have been 3-1 or 4-1, something like that. It was, yeah, like the fact that Chiesa of all people scored, that just lets you know, like, bro, the Liverpool players were not ready for that game, man. They weren't ready for the intensity that Newcastle brought. And they were, bro, they were like their heads were on fire, you know, so to speak.
yeah, I don't. I really wanted to go in on Liverpool about how fraudulent they are in cup competitions and how their stars disappear and blah blah blah. But
I just don't think they showed up for this one game, man. I just think they probably thought they were gonna come in here and roll the
yeah,
ball out.
they underestimated them. They didn't
Yeah.
play. The only they
By
didn't
the
play
by the
best
by the time
strength.
they understood that wake up, you're in a final, it
It
was
was
too
already
late.
0.
Yeah.
It was already too late.
Yep.
Even the goal they got, it was off a mistake from
Yep.
Bruno Guimaraes, was it in the midfield?
Someone. I think
Yeah,
so.
it's just
Someone made a mistake.
Liverpool
But
historically just haven't been good in cup competitions. They always find a way to mess up. And but when they do get it right, they win a couple here and there, but normally they just don't really win. They're not a cup team. And in the league, they're very good in the league, but it always
yes.
seems like this season the narrative was, oh, they were lucky, oh, they play against the worst teams at the worst of the best teams at the best teams worst time. But I'm like, yo, they're still really good. They've been consistently good for years in the league. They don't
Mhm.
lose that many games. Man City have just been better than them all the time. But
That's yep.
if you want to focus on the cup games, it's like maybe 60% that they're not performing and maybe 40% luck. They always get some crazy matchup early or they underestimate the competition. They're just not a good cup team.
I think I saw the similar thing with PSG. But I don't even think because I think the first game, right, away at PSG, I think they slightly underestimated PSG. The first game in Paris. And then they escaped that game by the skin of by Allison's. Actually, Allison saved them then. And they won. So they're like, oh, we can actually. The next game, though, it bit them in the butt because little did they know, Mr. Genius Jose Enrique, treble winner, he saw something. He said, "We got this team. If we just play like that, we're good."
Well, here's the thing. They didn't learn from their lesson of getting knocked out by Plymouth.
No, no, yeah,
They
true,
didn't
very true.
learn from all the other years of them getting knocked out by these random teams. They didn't
No,
learn from any of their mistakes in cup competition.
because I respect PSG. Like I didn't respect them like this, but I respect PSG, but I still expected Liverpool to win that matchup. I still expected Liverpool to pull out that
I
matchup.
mean, what do you expect when they put Darwin Nunes up to take a penalty?
He's
But
a
they bring
striker. I
Darwin
expect him to
Nunes
score.
in to score a goal, and they take off Luis Diaz, who has scored more goals. It's hubris, you know. It's like as good as Arnie Slot may seem, he made some stupid decisions, and he has continued to make them at least in competitions. It's just like, oh, we're Liverpool, we're still gonna win. No, it's not that easy.
My one gripe with Arne Slot I can say is I stand with Chiesa. That's it. Free Chiesa.
No, he doesn't like Chiesa, doesn't start him. He doesn't think he's good enough, but he's the only one
Yep.
that scored for you in the final.
Exactly. And he was on for what? 2 minutes,
He
3 minutes?
wasn't on for that long.
Not at all.
This man came on in the 74th minute.
Is he still on loan to them from Juve?
The 90 plus 4. I don't know. Let me see that. Go to his profile. I think it might have been a straight signing.
They bought him?
I have to check transfer market.
I mean, they don't really. I didn't think they really needed him.
Yeah, they signed him.
Oh,
Yeah, they signed him for 12 million. It wasn't a loan.
okay.
Yeah, it has a contract till 2028.
Interesting. Okay. Well, he got time to prove himself. They'll probably send him out on loan though if he doesn't play much.
Oof. He's 27 in his prime. Oh man, it sucks.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if the coach don't like you, the coach don't like you.
it's too bad.
Not much you can really do about that. You might,
Yeah, sorry, Petrovic.
yeah. Anyways, moving on. We spent 35 minutes talking about Liverpool. Jesus.
Hey, hey, they're supposed to be champions, so expect us to be talking about them a lot more.
All right. Up next, we have a bunch of Premier League games. Um, these past weekend, we saw Man City draw 2-2. We saw the Nottingham Forest keep march on beating Ipswich 2-4. We
Shout
saw
out to Brighton. Shout out Brighton.
thank you, Brighton, because we saw Fulham beat Spurs. We saw Man U beat Leicester 0-3. And we saw Arsenal and Chelsea play the most boring 1-0 I've ever seen in my life. But Chelsea is still in the top four. So where do we want to start?
We need to win to get in. Yeah, we're in now. Thank you, Brian. But we still need to win to
We're
get in.
still in for now. For now. But we have Spurs coming to town. And our rivals get to go to Leicester. Man City get to go to Leicester. Brighton hosts Aston Villa, which could, you know, it's a draw. It's a good result. Newcastle and Brentford also play each other. So Maresca is a must win.
Every game has been a must win. The only must win he's won as was against Southampton.
It's been must wins for a while now.
And Leicester. Sorry, I'll give him
And
Leicester.
the only ones we've actually won has been against relegation teams.
Yeah. Literally relegation teams.
And this
And even those games were a little shaky. But it's okay. Just win. That's all we ask for.
well, I mean, we always do beat Spurs, but
I'm not so confident now.
yeah, I'm not.
We don't have our Spurs killer. Cole Palmer is misfiring, and our ultimate Spurs
It is
killer.
an international break, you know. He might
Yeah.
come back a different person, especially if since he's injured now. This Arsenal game, there's not much I really have to say about it apart from Enzo Maresca. Your days are numbered. That's it. There's no passion. There's no aggression. What else did he
No
say?
vision.
There's no vision. There's nothing.
Yes, literally all the three. That's red flag areas as a coach.
There's nothing like Cucurella being having our most shots. Your
That's not a good
tactics
thing.
suck. You're terrible.
Because actually, I would argue Cucurella having our most shots is the other team saying, "Yeah,
Let him
we're
shoot.
fine with him shooting. Let him shoot."
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's like Cucurella having our best chances and being the one who scored against the worst, one of the worst teams in the league, Leicester. It's Maresca. It's on you. You can't blame anybody. There's like Cole Palmer is not available to carry anybody this season. Coach your way out of it, but no, you can't. Like the lineup decisions are just continued.
Terrible. Like, I get it. You have to play Neto as striker. Okay. But play Nkunku behind him. Free up Nkunku's life, man. Like every time I look at that guy on the left wing, his face is just he doesn't look happy. Am I wrong?
Nkunku is gonna leave Chelsea this summer.
Yeah, probably. Like he does not
There's
look happy
absolutely
at
no reason to
all.
start Fernandez behind Neto. and Reece
No.
James in Fernandez position. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Like, no.
And Fofana at right back. Like, what's wrong with you? And Badia Chilwell for Fofana should be playing. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Like, first of all, he's got to give our young boys more opportunities. I'm sorry. Like, at some point, you got to give somebody an opportunity. You got to, Tariq George, play him on the right.
And then he plays Sancho on the
Didn't Tariq George get the game winning assist for us against the first leg in Copa Eben? Okay, so he can play. Play him on the right. I get it. Kiernan Drewsbury Hall did a nice thing against Copenhagen, but that does not mean that he starts against Arsenal. That was exactly what I said. Here we go. Here we go. KDH. Here. No, man. He's good. The kid is good, but we have better players. We have more suited players.
I don't get his experimenting. Like you have no type of like anything that makes you smart enough to think that this is gonna work.
None.
You have no pedigree for this. You are experimenting and you keep failing again for the past
Let
three
me
episodes.
see. Let me try to put this in. Let me see if I can put my finger on exactly what we are good at. We're not really good at anything. The only thing we're good at is transitioning the ball really quickly because we have speed.
And that's questionable because what are we
Oh, because of
transitioning?
neto speed. No, we have speed. We don't create chances. It doesn't look easy. It looks way too hard. Pause. We don't defend well. We look like we don't half the time like we don't know where we're supposed to be. Like Enzo looks confused sometimes. Like, I mean, you already know how I feel about
I'm just
Caicedo.
gonna say it. I'm nominated Enzo Maresca for fraud watch. He's a fraud.
Yeah, and we rely way too much on Jadon Sancho to just magic his like, bro. The players need a system that makes their job easy. That's your job as a coach. We don't need Jadon Sancho always feeling like he has to take on two guys every time. He shouldn't have to.
And that's what we currently have, and it's not helping anybody.
You have Neto, who is a winger, but you want to play him as striker. Okay, fine. He can stretch the defense. Fine. Who's playing behind him? Kenan Drewsbury Hall. He's not a goal threat. Sure, he scored, but he's not really a goal threat. He's not looking to score. That goal was kind of like, oh, okay, goal. Even the way he scored the goal, he like tripped into the goal. He was like, oh wait, oh I'm here, I'm open. Oh yeah, shoot. All due respect, man. Like
I don't think we've.
Nkunku is a specialist. He is a specialist at putting the ball in the back of the net. I don't think people understand. He goes to sleep at night and dreams of scoring goals. Like it doesn't matter where you it really doesn't matter where you play him, but the problem is if you're such a dysfunctional team, you need to have him in front of goal at least. At least just keep him in front of goal just so one bounce here, two bounce there, he gets a nice goal. But no, you want to play him in a winger. You want to have him chase wingers around or wingbacks around.
Have Nkunku and Sancho playing defense to stop Arsenal attacks. That doesn't make any sense. That's the thing. Like
They blame the header on Nkunku.
we don't exactly like we don't have a system of attack that we can point to that
We
this is
don't.
how we build up play and attack.
That you can just plug a player in. All right, here's what you do. You see what he was doing. Here's what you do. You plug it. In. We don't have that.
And Samarica is going to get sacked eventually. He is going to. I don't care. We're probably gonna shithouse our way to this UEFA Conference League, and he's gonna give him another year. I swear to God, he's gonna get sacked. Or the players are gonna have to carry him and just do what they want on the pitch. But I just think he's just not a good enough.
Or he can turn it around and start winning some games.
Yeah, but he would have to do exactly the opposite of everything he's doing because he's making terrible decisions out there.
And he's doubling down on his. Okay, I understand he wants to play total football, but what did I say? Remember the first game against Man City, against the same fraudulent Man City team? What did he do? He reverted to a defensive, really nonchalant style. Honestly, our problem in that first Man City game was we gave the ball away too much in the back. All right, fine, but we didn't have any cutting edge. You know what I mean? There wasn't one time that you were like, oh, we're close to scoring a goal. You did especially the first half of this Arsenal game, right? How many shots did we have in the first half of Arsenal game? I think one.
Yeah, the Cucurella one probably.
I think like one.
Yeah,
So that's 45 minutes. You're just sitting just watching your players chase the other players are around. Just chase around, chase around.
yeah, and like we've been having terrible first halves for the past 3 games, and then he makes some subs.
And then we
0.2
still lose.
Yeah. I mean, not always lose. We usually win those second halves, but not against Arsenal. As Robert Sanchez, he decided to start Sanchez again.
Oh God. Don't even get me started with the goalie fiasco. Like that's if you have to worry about your goalie this far in the season.
Yeah, that's his problem. That's a problem for.
We had January to bring back Petrovic. We could have brought this guy back at any point in time. But like I said, similar to Chiesa, once the coach doesn't like you,
I don't.
you're done.
Marcelo has no reason to dislike him. That's the thing. I don't know why he likes Sanchez. I really don't get it. It's like stats don't lie. The, the eyesight doesn't lie. He's not him. He might make a few glamorous saves that he's supposed to make, but
Right?
those are just if you're a good goalkeeper, you make those saves. Petrovic is a good goalkeeper. Don't make
Yes.
mistakes that cost your team.
No,
That's
he
probably
doesn't.
the most important trait as a really good goalkeeper.
Literally.
Isn't making these stupid mistakes. Ederson isn't making these stupid mistakes.
Like
Ramos
make some great saves every now and then,
isn't making
but
them.
don't cost us games.
Yeah, it's just
That's
constant.
literally it.
It's just constant, and he feels like he's been forced to play Jorgensen, but that's not the case here. It's just
He's not even giving Jorgensen a realistic chance. If he was giving Jorgensen like a realistic chance, all right, I'm like, all right, he's trying to figure it out. He's not. He's just hoping that Jorgensen fails so we can put Sanchez back there.
you know,
Because as soon as Jorgensen messed up in the Arsenal Villa game, what happened the next game?
you got bench, even though Sanchez is doing the same thing all season.
Telling you, man. Because what people don't understand is like the psychology of like a backup keeper. Jorgensen probably didn't expect to play that much. He definitely didn't expect to start. And then you're starting him in a big game, a big game. Aston Villa, that's one of our biggest game all year. So now he's like, oh my God, uh-oh. Now I'm gonna be looked at as, and yeah, of course, he messes up. Goal, we lose. Like you can't make this up. That's
Um,
why they say, even ask any keeper. They say no, you have to stick with your number one guy. Like, because if you start flip flopping, you're in both guys' heads. Now you don't have a keeper.
the main issue now is after losing what 3 out of 4, we won 4 games in a row, lost to Arsenal. Our running is not that hard, even though I keep
But we
having to
we
say
won
this.
4 games in a row.
Yeah, we won 4 in a row before this Arsenal loss. Leicester, Copenhagen, Southampton.
Oh, you mean like okay, out including the Conference League. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
before that we lost 3 in a row. FA Cup, Premier League. So all competitions, all competitions. We have a couple games to like finish this season, and apart from the end, the immediate future, they're all finals, Mariska. We have to keep, well, not keep winning. We have to win those games. We have to beat Spurs. We have to beat Brentford, Liga Warsaw, Ipswich, Liga Warsaw, Fulham, everything. None of these games are easy. Liverpool, Newcastle, Man U, Forest, and then Club World Cup.
Liverpool, Newcastle, Man U, Forest. That's a gauntlet.
Yep, those are the last 4 games of the season.
That's gonna decide our season. You really think this guy is gonna pull it out?
No, home away, home away. No,
I don't even think we can like Man U's gonna be a pushover.
no, they're not going to be. That's a derby. That's not a derby. That's a
Man. Uh, well, the games are there, Maresca. There's still time. Brian gave you more time. Somehow he keeps getting lucky.
yeah.
Somehow he keeps getting more time.
He keeps getting away with it. Let's just see how long.
How long it's gonna? It's tick 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 tick. We know it always runs out.
And
There's
then
always that.
we'll like our season ends May 25th, May June. The next less than a month later is the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yep.
And I really want to win that, but
Hmm.
if we can't
There's
win
some good teams in there too.
yeah, if we can't win Conference League, because those games I just mentioned, if we progress in the Conference League, there'll be more games in between those games. So,
Yeah,
hey, at least Nicholas Jackson is coming back soon. That's a silver line. That's a silver line. So, hey,
that's good.
we just have to take it game by game because we cannot, no matter what we say on this podcast, we could be right.
I
It doesn't
hope he
matter.
plays Nkunku behind Nicholas Jackson. But hey, that's just my views.
We'll see. There's one last important topic before we end this. Barcelona, they somehow came back from being 2-0 down in the 70th minute away to Atletico Madrid and scored 4 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I call if I want something to be investigated in football? You know how the FBI has a hotline? Does La
Mm-hmm.
Liga have a hotline?
I haven't looked into it. I have no idea.
Because this is suspicious. Scoring 4 goals in 20 minutes to go top of the league against one of the best defenses in the league. Are they the best? The best defense in the league, even with them 4 goals conceded.
Well, I'm not that surprised.
I
We
think
saw
Lamar,
what.
Lamar needs to be drug tested. Who do I call to get all of them drug tested?
Hey, they're probably drug testing him as we speak. But I'm not that surprised because we saw what they did to Real Madrid in both matches. So they're capable. They're very capable. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I'm surprised. I'm shocked that it only took them 30 minutes. That's wild.
20 minutes.
20
Per
minutes?
time.
20 minutes, yeah. But I'm not surprised that they won 4-2. If anything, that's that's flick ball, man. That's Hansi Flick ball. It might get you though when the kids fall asleep, you know. But if they show up, that's why I keep. You see why you need a good system? You see why you need a good system? Your system can bail you out of a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. You remove a couple of pieces here, replace him, and we clicking. Just like that. And we clicking.
You know, Maresca does not have any type of system.
Like,
Flick?
not everyone can coach a team like Carlo Ancelotti. Let's just take Carlo. Actually, put Zidane in that same box. Take Carlo and Zidane, just put them over here. Now, the normal people, normal human beings, develop a system. You rigorously put your players through that system. And normally you would get players that fit that system. That's how it works on Earth, not on planet Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane. All right, on just normal planet Earth. So yeah, that's what Flick really, really understands. Like he understands different
And
systems
the
for
thing
different
is, I think
situations.
like Flick also has the confidence of they are signing players to match his system.
But they haven't really
I think
signed anyone.
that's the case with us.
No, but what I'm saying is they haven't really signed anyone though.
They
They
can't,
haven't.
even if
They
they do,
haven't.
they
That's what I'm saying. Barcelona hasn't really signed anyone. He just took Xavi's players. They haven't really signed anyone. He just took Xavi's players. Xavi, the same coach that they kicked him out with those same players. Oh, plus Dani Olmo. There you go.
well,
Ferran Torres scoring a goal, important goals, bruh.
the kids are still young enough to learn.
That's why I'm giving credit to his system.
Mm, there's a
Because, hey, they almost messed it up. What did they do? What did they do? They went down 2-0. I told you. Sometimes the kids can fall asleep. The kids are going to fall asleep because they're kids. What are they doing, Benfica? Gets a red card. Like, bro, the kids are going to be kids, but his system is there to bail them out. And Lamine Yamal, of course. I mean, let's all take a clap for that wonder spectacular goal he scored. But without the system, it would just be 2-1 Lamine Yamal goal. Without the system, you don't get Ferran Torres looking like he can actually play soccer. Oh my God. Without the system, you don't get Rafinha looking like Rivaldo meets Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
Without the system, you don't get 40-year-old Lewandowski looking like he's 28.
Yeah. I would like to say to Atletico Madrid, it's tough for y'all. You're now 4 points behind both Barca and Madrid.
Yep.
I really wanted to buy one of your jerseys this season,
Hey, they're only 4 points behind. We'll see.
but I don't think that is very likely. I don't
Come
think
on. It's a
Barcelona
game and a half.
and especially Madrid have hit their heights. I think they still have another gear.
They definitely do, but I think the Champions League playoffs is gonna weigh on those boys. I already saw it with Mbappe and Jude in the other game. Like they were as soon as the ref blew that whistle, and that was a league game, they looked tired. They looked very like
Who did they have?
There's a difference when the ref blows a whistle and everybody, they're like chilling, just walking and talking. No, Jude like was on the ground, laying down. Mbappe was grabbing his knees, like going down. They look very, very tired. Like as soon as the whistle blew, he just fell down, like just breathing.
Well, I don't think Arsenal or the BVB Dortmund will give them that much work.
Hey, I already told you how I wanted that match to go. If it goes the way I think it's gonna go, oh, those boys gonna work real hard for that victory. Real hard.
I guess it will be an interesting game. I think it will be a very entertaining game. It's not going to be easy,
No, no.
but
Because
I think
Arsenal, they're gonna lock down D.
the
And
favorites
the
were.
best part of Arsenal is their defense. So we'll see, man.
I was like, their defense cannot contain Mbappe.
No, no, I
Their
don't think so.
defense cannot
But
contain
it might be able to like slow down already tired Mbappe,
and it might frustrate them.
right?
But it's like if the boy is playing his heart out and running and dribbling, they can't contain that.
Yeah, if he plays at his best, there's nothing anybody can do. But what I'm saying is, they can only hope to like that. He's like I said,
They
he's
play this
tired from these league
consistently
matches.
effective enough.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean we know
hey,
we know Carlos' system
here's
is
the
effective.
thing about La Liga. La Liga gives their teams, they schedule their games intentionally to give
They give them breaks.
extra
Yeah,
time before Champions League games. They have
yeah,
that advantage. So,
yeah. hmm
and that's why they perform so well in Europe.
Bundesliga teams should be winning more Champions League because they have the biggest break. They have like 3 weeks off, bro, in
Yeah,
the middle of the
they have a
season.
winter break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why aren't they winning more Champions League finals?
because Real Madrid exists. That's the only reason. And Chelsea was there one time. Things happen. It's not always that simple. But yeah, um, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Thank you all for making it this far. Every time, like recently, me and Kaz, we just talked for so long. I'd like to thank y'all for being here this long. Um,
Yeah, I'd like
Go
to
ahead.
thank you for listening to our monologues, especially God, my Edward, how did he do it monologue was probably the longest one, but
I still didn't hear an apology to Eddie Howe, but it's okay.
I said I was sorry. I said I ate my words. Yeah.
Just making sure. Just
That was the first thing I said was I ate my words. I was wrong about say Maximan. I was wrong. You were right.
well, we apologize when we're wrong. But you are wrong if you don't drop a like right now. And if you've been listening this entire time, you
Yes.
still don't drop a like. That's like, why are you even here? But hey, it's cool. It's cool. Um, Drop a comment if you want us to talk about international games. Then we drop another one next week.
Yeah. We can
Um,
probably do it midweek, mid
Interact
to
with our
late
posts.
later
We
week.
we posting more on the socials for Talkatives.
Yep. And I'm sorry we haven't been posting that many clips on. If you follow us on IG, please we apologize. We will get more clips up out there.
Clips are
Like
coming.
clips are
Es-
definitely coming.
Especially with this international break going on. It's a time
Yeah.
where we
But follow us on IG if you
time.
want to see more clips.
Um,
Let us know in the comments um what you think what you want us to clip and what you want to like see from as far as the shorts and stuff like that. Please, all suggestions welcome.
all our
No
links
hate.
in the bio. Go ahead. We're on every platform, all social media. Go ahead, connect with us, speak to us. We're right here. We're not that far. If you're already here, you're one click away. So apart from that, we will see you after the international break. And yeah, peace.
Peace.